Fry's had some beautiful avocados the other day on sale, and so I picked some up, and they weren't ready at the time, but now I think they are. But they're quite large for what I would use them for, so I think I'm going to make them into guacamole and try putting it in my freezer. Which should work. I know lots of people who freeze avocados and guacamole, and that's how you buy it in the store. It's when you buy some brands of guacamole that you buy in the store are frozen, so that will work. So I've got some avocados here. I have some lime juice. I'm going to put some salsa in it. I'm going to leave out the onion, and if I want onion, then I will put it in fresh after I thaw the guacamole out. But I think putting onion in it will make it too watery. So first I'm going to cut the avocados, and these are really nice. I'm not going to slice these, but if you were going to slice them, what I would suggest is that you slice them with the peel still on them, but use a butter knife or something that isn't sharp. There's not much keeping that sharp blade from coming through to your skin. So I would just use like a butter knife and cut them like that. Then once you scoop them out, with a spoon, then you've got these nice slices. And it scares me too much to put the knife in the pit. Usually you can just get it out fairly easily just using your fingers. And I might have too small of a bowl for 2 of these, but we'll see how it works. And another nice one, really nice one. Now, if you were really industrious, you could wash this off, and I think you need to dry it. And my mom used to always put toothpicks in it and then prop it into a little like juice cup or something full of water, and then it would sprout, and then it would sprout on the bottom, and then it would sprout on the top as well. Grow roots on the bottom, on the wider part, and then the top would crack open, and a shoot would come out, and give it a couple years, 5 years, you've got an avocado tree. I'm going to put some salt and pepper in this while I'm mashing it up. Actually, I think I'll put the lime juice in now as well. And some picante sauce. Okay, I'm going to give it a little taste. Needs a little more salt, but that's really quite tasty. Oops. Guacamole on the tripod. And you could put more salsa in if you wanted to. You could put hot sauce in. And put garlic in. I think I'm just gonna leave it the way it is. So as far as packaging it up goes, I have been saving all kinds of little containers that hummus or potato salad or whatever comes in, just to have on hand if I send any food out to anybody. Then I don't have to worry about them returning a dish or me asking for it or whatever. So I could either pack half of it up into this, and if I were going to put it in a plastic container like this, I would pack it in, and then I would take some saran wrap and put it on top and press it down, making sure there were no air bubbles, and then put the lid back on it. And that's the way guacamole, if it comes in a little plastic container like this, that's the way it comes, with a piece of plastic over the top of it. And I've had good luck after I've opened it in either pushing that original plastic piece back down or putting some fresh saran wrap directly onto the guacamole, and then it doesn't brown. And sometimes even up to 3 or 4 days and it still doesn't brown on top. But I think instead of that, I think I'm just going to package it in some ziplock sandwich bags and put it in the freezer. And then when I want to get it out of the freezer, I'll let it thaw just long enough so that I can pop it out of the bag into another bowl without it being a mushy gushy mess. And or you could even snip a corner off of the bag after it completely thaws and just press it out into a dish that way. But so I am going to store it this way, and I've used all my spoons by tasting. And normally I wouldn't worry about being so sanitary if I'm the only one eating it, but quite often if we're having company over and we have burrito bowls or something, then I'll put the put guacamole out with it, and so it's not somebody in the immediate family. And if you wanted to, I mean, try to make sure you get all the air out of that. If you wanted to, I could have just mixed the whole thing up in there. I could have just plopped out 2 halves into each bag and just mushed it up with my hands. But I really didn't want it to be that messy in the bags. I'm trying to keep it into one little section there so that when I thaw it out, I don't have a huge mess. So I'm going to put this in the freezer for a couple of days, at least one of them. We've got some company coming on Father's Day on Sunday, so I'll pull this out Sunday morning and we'll see how it works. So again, be sure to get all of the air out of that. And I am going to go put those in the freezer. I pulled a bag of that guacamole that I made last week. I pulled a bag of it out of the freezer, and it's been defrosting for a few minutes, and I'm going to put it in a bowl and let it continue defrosting. Okay, so before it gets, I'll probably let it go too long. After it just thaws for about 10 minutes, then it comes out really easily. I let it go a little longer than I did. I had another one that I did yesterday, and that one just came out very easily. This still isn't that bad, but that other one yesterday just plopped out with no problem at all. And the one yesterday I just covered completely with plastic wrap, making sure no air could get in there so it wouldn't get brown. And that's still frozen solid. I'm just going to let that defrost, and then we'll either put some purple onion or some scallions in that, and a little more salt and pepper maybe, and some garlic if we feel like it. And that'll probably take a couple of hours to defrost. So this is sat for about an hour, maybe longer, maybe an hour and a half. There's a little bit of moisture on there from the salsa, I'm assuming. I'm going to drain that. Okay. So it looks like all mixed up. put some more salt on it. Just the smallest amount of garlic. And then I'm just gonna cut some green onion in here. Yesterday on the one I used red onion, and that was real good. But I'll just try this today. Okay. Stir it up. And there's the guacamole that I made and put in the freezer and then defrosted and put fresh onions in. It's delicious. So that would be a good thing to do if avocados were on sale, to cut them up and put them in a bag, even if you didn't have time to mix the seasonings for guacamole in. Just put them in a bag and freeze them, and then when you thaw them, mash them up and put the seasonings in. It tastes just like I can't think of the brands, like Holy Guacamole, or just the kind that you buy in the produce section at the supermarket or grocery store, or some of the frozen kinds that you can get at Costco.